Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is Monday, the 20th day of June. It's National Hike with a Geek Day today. So then they could point out this thing over here is this and that over there is that. I would like to do that because there's some things that I wonder, what is that thing? National Ice Cream Day today, National Kofi Amman Day today, National Vanilla Milkshake Day today, and American Eagle Day today. In addition to all of those amazing, wonderful, fabulous things, it is a Monday, which means it is a Movie Star Monday.
Movie Star Monday.
Our guest today, Charlie Schlatter. I love Charlie.
I love Charlie.
We had a chance to meet Charlie about a year ago, and he is just one of the kindest people on the planet.
He really is. He's fantastic.
And he was in Diagnosis Murder with Dick Van Dyke. He was in a show we love, a movie we love, 18 Again with George Burns.
Awesome
a bunch
film.
of other movies, and he's a voice actor. He's the voice of a bunch of characters.
Yeah,
We're going to
amazing.
chat with Charlie Schlatter coming up in just a bit. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Movie Star Monday.
What can I say that I haven't already said about BetterCreditCards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At BetterCreditCards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Maybe sometimes when it's too hot in the bedroom, or if you just prefer to stretch right across the mattress, you look back longingly on your sleep single days. Do you ever have those where you're like, man, I wish there wasn't somebody else in this bed
Sometimes.
hogging things and making me hot? She's pointing at me right now. That's me. We're married, by the way, for those who don't know. This might surprise you. According to a new study, having a sweetheart cozy up to you can actually help you get a better night's sleep. University of Arizona found those who share a bed with a spouse or a partner experience better quality sleep than people who are sleeping on their own. They may even have a lower risk of issues like insomnia and sleep apnea. However, those who often share a bed with a child report higher levels of insomnia, less control over their sleep, and they have a greater risk of sleep apnea if there's a kid in the bed. And if there's a kid in the bed, you're doing it wrong. They should be weaning them off of that so they should be able to sleep on their own. Otherwise, holy cow, you got all kinds of problems
Right.
in your future. So
That's
don't do that.
for sure.
All right, that is surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by RadioTravelGroup.com. Heidi, did you know chicken marsala or fried chicken nuggets, they'd have our ancestors turning in their graves, according to new research. A team at the University of Exeter discovered that Iron Age Europeans, so way back in the day, they revered the humble bird, the chicken.
Revered.
They revered them. What did I say?
Revered.
Oh, that's revered. They revered them. They revered them. I don't know if I pronunciated that correctly. Anyway, they what was it again? Revered?
Revered.
Revered that humble bird as almost like a deity, not a delicacy. They found that men were buried with cockerels when they died, so like chickens. Women were laid to rest with hens. Findings based on chicken remains from over 89 countries. Bones, locations, historical legends, and records provide new insight into how those folks actually regarded the chicken back in the day.
Alrighty then.
There you go. No nuggets for them. All right. We don't know everything, but now we know this. And I clearly have been saying a word wrong my entire life. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The dystopian drama Squid Game was a huge hit, and Netflix decided they are going to turn that into a reality show, minus the killing, of course. They announced they're launching Squid Game: The Challenge. In reality shows, we 456 real players competing for $4.56 million. SquidGameCasting.com is the website. Britney Spears' attorney has spoken out after her former husband, Jason Alexander, was charged with a felony count of stalking. So if you're interested in that, I've got more information. I'm going to move on because I don't know anything about it or care to know anything about it. The Stranger Things 4 buzz does not appear as though it's going to die down anytime soon. The 4th season has now become their most watched English language series ever. 781 million hours viewed, and it's only like 3 weeks since it came out. It's been out a short while. It's done real well. I've got more details on all 3 of those in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Gramm, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. If you really love your cat, you might as well start saving for a new sofa. A team of veterinary psychologists, which I didn't know that was a thing, they say coddled cats are more likely to tear up furniture. The Federal University of Rio Grande says they determined that tolerance for this type of unacceptable behavior could be a sign of strong human-feline bond. According to the report published in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior, evidence supports that cats' behavior influences the level of emotional closeness between the animals and the owners. And owners of cats that do not scratch the furniture had a lower level of emotional closeness compared to those who had furniture that was kind of scratched up a little bit. So they're going, if you love your cat, and if your cat loves you, your furniture might get scratched up a little bit.
Yikes.
So that means our daughter's dog loves us very much. She chewed up not a sofa, but a recliner. She did her house for what?
That's a dog. That's
I know.
not a cat.
I'm just saying.
We're talking about cats.
I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. That's why she chewed that up. They say there's a huge correlation here, and they think the cat's habit by those who love them the most. They can tell the cat's habits by who they love the most. Or something like that. Moving right along. How about a Jack and Coke? Sounds like I've already had 6, but I haven't. I'm struggling to read this stuff today. But they're saying the makers of Coca-Cola and the makers of Jack Daniel's whiskey have announced a partnership. And it's going to all be in one can. Now, there has already been a Jack and Cola product, but now this is a Jack and Coca-Cola ready-to-drink beverage, and it's called the Jack and Coke Cocktail. It's pre-mixed retail variation of a classic mixed drink.
That sounds
it says
really
here,
good.
The Jack and Coke cans are coming to markets worldwide. The initial launch was planned for Mexico later this year. So here's the thing that I got to tell you. I've had some things where they've pre-mixed stuff like that, and you got to just hope they get the mix right the way you like it. If not, then it's, better to just make your own, I guess. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? Check out this beautiful family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Poipu, Kauai, Hawaii. Our family stayed recently and we absolutely loved it. The area is so beautiful and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can all enjoy your own area in a vacation rental? Visit Hawaii and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. Learn more at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Movie Star Monday. Our guest today, Charlie Schlatter. Charlie, how you doing, man?
I'm good, John. How are you doing, buddy?
I am fantastic, and I'm excited to chat with you about a bunch of fun stuff. A lot of folks listening know you from movies and television shows like, what's this, Diagnosis Murder with some fella, Dick Van Dyke. Am I getting that right?
Yeah, Dick Van something. I don't know. He's done a couple of things, but the kid has a real future ahead of him.
One of my favorite movies, by the way, is a movie that you were in with George Burns, 18 Again. You did such an amazing job in that movie.
Oh, thanks, man.
What was it like working with George Burns? That dude was a legend.
Yeah, he was unbelievable, and I have to say it was, it was like working with Santa Claus every day. It was just working like with this really magical character. I don't know if a lot of kids even know who he is anymore, but our generation certainly does. And he was just a living legend, and you don't get that opportunity like ever in your life. Sometimes you get to meet one, but to actually sit knee to knee with someone and work on project together, it's pretty amazing. thing. I wish that would happen to me now because I think I would appreciate it that much more.
Oh, yeah.
And I did appreciate it. You know, as a 21-year-old guy doing that movie, I did appreciate it. I got it. But even now, more so, you look back and go, oh, my God, I was so fortunate to have that experience.
And you've had a lot of really cool things that you've had a chance to do. And one of the things that I love, you do a ton of voice work. I'm a big voice guy, so I really appreciate this a ton. But let's talk about some of the characters that you've had a chance to lend your voice to.
Okay.
So we've got, let's start maybe with Flash. That's a pretty fun one on the Superman animated series.
Yeah, I did that on the Superman another one called Justice League Action. You know, it's so funny because there's like there'll be like 5 other actors who all can kind of put Flash on their poster and say, I'm the voice of Flash. You know, not that we're fighting each other, but every company, whenever they kind of reboot a series or redo it, they kind of bring in who they want to, you know, who their like favorite Flash was or whatever. I am proud to say that I'm the most recorded Flash when it comes to cartoons. So that's fun. And yeah, that's just a fun character. He's just, you know, snarky and fast and funny. I don't have to do a lot of vocal gymnastics for that one. I don't walk out of that session with like a bleeding throat.
Another one, Kick Buttowski, Suburban Daredevil. What a fun character.
That was honestly like, I think that was my favorite character to do. Little Kick Buttowski from Millowbrook. Totally fun, just because he was like 2 feet tall with, you know, nerves of steel. And John, what was so awesome about that show is that just it came at the right time in my life because my son, who's the youngest, I've got 3 kids, and he's my youngest, but I think he was probably like 8 or 9 years old when that came out. So he was the target audience. He and all his buddies and every boy that I coached on Little League or basketball or soccer. And I think for those guys, it was a kick for them. It's not often that you get like someone, your coach, to be the voice of a character that you watch every day.
Absolutely.
And so, again, that's something I didn't take for granted.
And when my son's 25, but when he was a little kid, there was a show, Ben 10, that he absolutely loved. And you got to be Kevin Levin on Ben 10, which is really cool.
Yeah, Kevin Levin on that, on the original one. Because sometimes, you know, not that I work that much, but sometimes you kind of go from job to job and you forget who you've been, what characters you've done. And it's not until when some kid comes up and says, oh, remember when you were Airbender? And you're like, no. And then they show you a picture. And you go, oh, my gosh, you're right. I was that guy, you know.
And you get a chance to go out to quite a few events. That's actually where we met last year at an event. What are some of the things that people talk to you about at these fun events?
Well, first of all, they say, gosh, you're a lot shorter than I thought, which is, you know.
Well, you're sitting down. That's why. So.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's what it is, but I am. I've had like this really weird, eclectic kind of career because I do so many just odd things and things from here and there that, like I said, I even sort of forget what I do. So when you're sitting there and you've got your little photos in front of you and people come up because they're like, oh, yeah, Kevin 11, I'll see, you know, whatever. And they want to talk about that. And then the mom says, oh, my gosh, you were Ferris on Ferris Bueller? Like all these little pictures just sort of trigger something in their mind and go, oh, my, I didn't know you were the Honey Nut Bee. Or whatever, and then you end up, you know, signing a bunch of those pictures.
Yeah. And you just mentioned Ferris Bueller, the TV show. I kind of forgot about that. Now, how long were you Ferris Bueller on TV?
About 10 minutes.
Oh, it was more than that.
It's a lot of life. It was one of those things that everyone in hindsight went, what did we just do here? What happened?
Well, I absolutely loved it. Again, our guest today, Charlie Schlatter. Charlie, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
I'll throw a link to Charlie's information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
What can I say that I haven't already said about bettercreditcards.com? It's a website. You go there to get a better credit card. Okay, that's really probably all I need to say for most of you, but I still have time left, so how about this? At bettercreditcards.com, we have different kinds of credit cards, some with better points and perks, some designed to help you build your credit. Whatever stage of life you happen to be in, we want to help. Give yourself a little credit. Bettercreditcards.com. That's bettercreditcards.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Humans are born with only 2 innate fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud sounds. Everything else we determine later is scary.
Oh.
Everything else we're not afraid of. So there you go. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
All people are born with 2 basic food preferences. We like sweet foods and we dislike bitter foods. And then over time, our preferences change. All right. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Pure cocoa can help prevent tooth decay. Apparently, I was doing it wrong.
Really?
Yeah, it's pure cocoa, not the way I eat it. All right, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
There is no butter in buttermilk. None. Zero.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder
So I've
why
been-
they named it
Been
that.
doing that wrong, too. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Eye of newt, toe of frog, and wool of bat are archaic terms for mustard seed, buttercup, and holly leaves.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I didn't know any
That
of
is
those.
very interesting.
There we go. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Are you looking for an energy drink that's natural, lasts longer, has no dyes, no artificial flavorings, and no sugar? Blitz Energy Drink is the answer. With only 10 calories per serving and 200 milligrams of caffeine, our formula will help increase your focus, endurance, mood, and energy levels. Order now at drinkblitzenergy.com. Use promo code RADIO20 to save 20% and get free shipping on any canister. drinkblitzenergy.com. Promo code RADIO20. That's drinkblitzenergy.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. Yay! Comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com. Hey, question for you, Heidi. About 95% of us have one of these, but most of us never clean it. What is that? We have one. I know we have one. 95% of us never clean these.
I have
I don't
no
think we've
idea.
every once in a while we'll clean it if it's like plugged up or something. The answer is vacuum cleaner.
Oh.
Yeah, 95% of us have a vacuum cleaner, and most of us never clean our vacuum cleaner.
Okay.
It's the Mint Mobile question of the day. Comes your way courtesy of mintervention.com.
Join us in October for The Sands, a week of music and fun that's been described as the best week ever by many guests. This year we have more icons and more fun. Loverboy, Belinda Carlisle, Lou Gramm, Vanilla Ice, Samantha Fox, Firehouse, and many more already on the schedule. Plus, more announcements coming soon. Plan to join us October 25th through the 30th at Planet Hollywood Beach Resort Cancun. This all-inclusive event will be the time of your life. Learn more now at radiotravelgroup.com.
Time now for some weird news, brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com. Many hardcore golfers go their entire life with never ever once even sinking a hole in one. But Frank Kowalski did, not once, but twice in the same round.
Oh,
Crazy. Yeah, it all started with his first swing of the day. He was running late for his weekly outing at the Bentleyville Village Golf Club in Naples, Florida, so he didn't really have time to practice. Using a sand wedge on the 7th hole where his group was starting, he hit a hole-in-one. Then, on hole number 15, one of the trickiest on the course, they say, he scored another hole-in-one with a 5-wood. The 74-year-old described it as the most exciting day he's ever experienced on the greens.
I love that.
Isn't that amazing?
He should have gone out and bought a lottery ticket.
Absolutely. What a day. Your dad has had how many hole-in-ones?
4.
4 hole-in-ones.
He's had
so
4.
He also
over
golfs
the years.
all the time, all the time, all the time. So that's really a good thing. We'll chat with him tomorrow with Tuesdays with Charlie. That is your weird news, brought to you by weirdgiftoftheday.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by bettercreditcards.com. Here's a list of lies you actually believed as a teen. There's 20 of them on the list. Is that right? No, maybe there's 17, which is kind of a weird number. Anyway, I'm going to just kind of skip through here. So these are all lies you believe as a teen. $1,000 is a lot of money. Okay. Hangovers are not that bad. These are lies you believed as a teen. Socks are a terrible gift. Actually, as you get older, you go, I kind of like socks now. Thank you.
Yeah.
Once I'm 21, I'll really feel like an adult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Up that a few more years. Lies you believed as a teen. I'll probably easily buy a house before I'm 30. No, it's not going to be so easy. Another lie you believe as a teen. Once I fall in love, everything else just falls into place. All right. There's a whole bunch of stuff on this list. Like I said, I don't have time to read them all. If you want to, you can read them in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Are you ready to enjoy a little slice of paradise? Check out this beautiful family-owned, professionally managed vacation rental in sunny Poipu, Kauai, Hawaii. Our family stayed recently and we absolutely loved it. The area is so beautiful and the vacation rental has room for up to 6 guests. Why stay in hotel rooms when you can all enjoy your own area in a vacation rental? Visit Hawaii and make your trip to this tropical paradise one to remember. Learn more at radiotravelgroup.com. That's radiotravelgroup.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way courtesy of insurancechicken.com from Sophia on the Golden Girls. Here's the quote today, Heidi. Look, you didn't ask me for my opinion, but I'm old, so I'm giving it anyway. I like that. I think that's really funny. And you know what? Sometimes that's just the way it works, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And as I get older, the older I get, the more I appreciate that kind of thing.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion, but I continue to give it anyway. So
it's like, well, you didn't ask me, but here's the right answer, just in case you wanted to know. You've been working on this for a week, but here's the answer. Just, go do that. All right. Your quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of radiotravelgroup.com. I like this story. This is an Uber story. A couple brings their Uber driver to a concert with them when they find out she's a huge fan of Garth Brooks. They were on their way to a Garth Brooks concert. This was in Columbus, Georgia, and they were getting a ride there, and they find out that she's a huge fan. Last week, Katie and Zach Watson were heading to this concert. They were going to attend the show with a friend. The friend was under the weather and couldn't go.
I was going to say, how'd they get a ticket last week?
We had a third ticket.
I see.
We tried to find somebody that could go with us. No takers.
That's really sweet of them.
They were staying at a hotel, and they thought, you know what, let's just take an Uber there because then we don't have to try to park and all that stuff. By the way, we've done that before, getting like a Lyft or an Uber to a concert. That's a really good way to do it. Then you don't have to try to park.
You don't have to mess with any of that.
The first Uber driver canceled. The clock was ticking, and they get another driver that shows up, and it was a person named Vicky. And once they get get in the car with Vicky, and they're on the way to the stadium, she was like, "Oh, you're going to see Garth Brooks. I wanted to go. It's such a great show." And one thing leads to another, and they say, "Tell you what, how about you park this car and you go with us?"
Aww.
And now there's a photo of the three of them at the Garth Brooks concert together. I think that is just a cool thing.
Well, I mean, what else were they going to do with it?
Exactly.
It was just going to go to waste.
Yeah, it says, there's an empty parking spot right there. You should pull in that spot, and you should park, and you should come with us.
Yeah, that's really nice.
And the three new friends set together, all three, I'm going to have a memory that they are never going to forget as well. I think it's really neat. I've got a link to that story, that's photos, all of that, in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.